All right, guys, good morning. It's Saturday, August 11th, and I kid you not, this is my fourth effort at trying to make this video. Somebody butt dialed me, I think, or hung up, and anytime a phone call cuts the, uh, the video off. And then the other two, I guess my alarm going off, I never shut it off. So I shot myself on that one. Anyway, when I started this, the sky behind me was, almost dark as the sun comes up. So to show you how many times I've tried and swung and missed at this anyway. Um, so good Lord, I'm in Woodstock, Illinois. I'm waiting to head down to Chicago and catch a train, and I'm excited about today. I was talking about yesterday and some of the happenings with it, and I don't even know what I've said. I've talked three of these times already. Anyway, such a special thanks to the folks that are out there. It was really great for me to get Mary to talk about her program, because her energy is just completely contagious and is amazing. And I couldn't do justice to her program if I tried to talk about it myself. And likewise, Kat with the Casa of King County, an amazing program, amazing enthusiasm and passion. I mean, this woman sold her business to go pursue doing this. I mean, just process that for a minute. You talk about belief in something and wanting to do the right thing. And I'm not saying the right thing is in terms of judging, in her mind doing the right thing. And she sold her business and pursued this. So that's special people. The problem is, because her organization deals with children and there are certain copyrights and protections, I couldn't kind of have her on camera representing the organization. So I hope that myself and Gary did as best we could in terms of translating her energy and passion for the organization. And I'll challenge all you folks out there. I think there's both of them are national programs, and Casa Kane County is generally regarded as one of the best in the country. And so if you live in Kane County, think about becoming. Yes, it's commitment, time. Yes, there's a lot involved with it. But anyway, if you're not in Kane County, Illinois, don't dismiss it. Take a look and see if there's casas in your neck of the woods. And I know my friend of mine sent me something about a couple of casas he looked into, but it was a different casa. It was about I don't know, something about alcohol, and I think it was like treatments and stuff like that. This is not. This is children's advocacy. So the two different casas altogether. So just be careful when you research those. I don't want to be pumping you up to go look for something and go, hey, I get to go deal with drugs and alcohol or whatever the other one is. I'm not even sure. Anyway, so that was great. And then Gary, having kind of met me finally and seen who I am and what I'm about, said, you got to get up to this town called Woodstock. I think it fits you and what you're doing perfectly. And it was 45 minutes from his home, but he still took the time to drop me up here. And I'm glad he did. One of the things about me, people really do motivate me and empower me. And they're what life's about to me, friendships. And so on that note, I don't really care if I live in I've talked and been sincere that I may lose my house and my cars over this, and people get wigged out by that. And no, I don't want to, clearly, but if I lose my home, again, my home is where me and my kids and anybody else in my life is. It could be a 5-bedroom colonial on 6 acres, and it could be a 2-bedroom apartment. It doesn't matter. Life's fun every day when you're with the right people. Same thing with vacations. People ask me my best vacations. It has nothing to do with the destination. It has to do with the people. I might have gone with some dear friends, and that made it special. I might have made some friends that became dear to me, and that's my memory. And likewise, that's happened on this trip. But there's one thing about Woodstock that I want to say I've never experienced before. There's one town on Long Island that reminds me like this, but I've come along on this journey, and I've been through some towns that I could maybe drive through in 30 seconds if I was driving. And that's not a knock on a town. I'm just saying it's a small town, but it's become one of my favorite towns because of the people and some of the friendships I've made. But for me, it always comes back to that. Well, Woodstock's a little bit different. I didn't get a chance to meet everybody or a lot of people, but the people I met were fantastic. But that aside, Woodstock is one of my favorite towns because of the town. This town square, they're setting up for a farmer's market right now. They do every Saturday on the square. The way these cobblestone streets are, the main district. And again, I'm sure there's more sprawl to the town, But that part that I'm looking at, just a half a mile, not even a quarter mile up that little cobblestone road right there, is just it's just such a crazy warm feeling. So, as I said, I may try to redo this journey with my kids someday by car. And one of the things I'm not going to do on this trip that I was looking forward to is going to the Field of Dreams out in Iowa. So I'm pretty sure that when I make that trip by car, that this will be one of our destinations to share this with my kids. Just phenomenal. So, um, but as far as the people yesterday and last night, that's what this morning video should be about. I should just shut up and talk about last night, right? Sorry, guys. I came in the town, and Catherine, the owner of the public house, had caught wind of my journey and said, "Hey, stop by. My folks would love to meet you." So it's always nice to have somewhere to kind of go to. And I guess because she tipped off her staff, I walked into, just such a warm welcome. The servers, the bartenders, the hostesses were taking my card and taking pictures, and just they had already, I guess, looked up what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So it is a pretty decent. Whether it's because of my kids, whether it's because of pointing a thumb, whether it's because of the charities, whatever it is that motivates, that you hook into, there's really not a lot you can say bad about it. So they were really supportive and really welcoming, and it was great. In fact, they were kind of telling my customers, "Hey, check out this guy, what he's doing," and really nice group. Molly, who's the restaurant manager or bar manager, was just so accommodating, I guess, so nice and polite. And then everybody was Terry, the bartender. But there was one young lady I want to kind of give a shout out to, because, man, when somebody's like hyped up about life and people and their job, their passion, it's contagious. And there was a young lady I met last night. Her name is Brittany, and I've got pictures of her. She's I don't want to insult her. I don't know how old she is. I mean, I would guess 22 years old, but maybe she's older. Maybe she's even 20. I don't know. But she's tatted up and got a couple spikes there. But I mean, that just tells me that you're really comfortable who you are, and that's something I think is to be applauded. I could never do what some of these folks do. Sometimes you walk around and people look at some of these folks that, not her, but I'm saying you walk around people, some of them covered in tats or earrings or spikes, and people might look at them like, man, those people are freaks or crazy or something. But I just think it's the coolest thing, because I don't have that courage, and I'll never be that comfortable in my skin to be able to do that. And well, I'm not saying the world should do it. I just have always respected that. And Brittany's not over the top at all with anything, but clearly she's comfortable in her own skin. And I ask a lot of questions, random questions, because it tells you about people. And one of the questions I ask is, "What's your favorite movie?" And here's this young girl that floors me. She tells me about a movie. I hadn't heard of the name of it. I didn't recognize it by the name, but it's kind of a story of Bob Dylan, where different characters play him at different stages in his life. I'm like, what's this young girl knowing about Bob Dylan? He was even a little bit before my generation, quite frankly, and I'm probably anywhere from 30 to 20 to 30 years older than her. So, but it just shows a spirit. I even joked with her. I said, I want to kind of take you and stick you in my backpack and take you with me on this journey. And she said, I'd probably go. She just so high on life, and her energy, I kind of, whatever it is that gets her that pumped up, I want to bottle it and take it in the morning, like a 5-hour energy or something like that. Just so she's somebody that definitely will stick out in my mind. But so as I was leaving, I met a family of 4 that was talking to me, really engaged in who I am and what I'm about. And it was just nice, because when people engage you, you can tell their interest, and that is so flattering. I don't care whether they follow me, tell 100, just kind of seeing the look in their eyes as they hear my energy it is really uplifting for me. Sometimes people will ask you, and by the 3rd sentence, they're just kind of glossed over, and yeah, so kind of like half of you are right now. So as I was walking out, Molly said, "Hey, Jim, come here, tell these people what you're doing." And there was this couple there, and so I told them what I'm doing, and the wife said, "Do you have a place to stay tonight?" I said, "No." And she said, "Well, stay with us." And I kind of said, "Well, if it's an offer, I'll take you up on it." I said, "But before you offer that, check with him." I've had on at least one, and I suspect a second occasion, where one of the partners or spouses has made an offer for me to stay, and I don't think it was really something that the partner would do. And in one case, it led to a kind of a bad night, because it was a kind of a late cancellation. That's the one where I suspected might have something to do with it. But anyway, So I said, well, look, guys, you just got here. Have your dinner. I'll go sit on the patio. This restaurant town on the square had this outdoor with a fireplace, just phenomenal. So, you guys go handle that, and I'll sit outside. And when you're done, if it's still good, I'll love to get to know you guys a little better, and make you part of my story and my book. Well, it wasn't 15, 20 minutes later that Molly came out and said, hey Jim, you know, they just had somebody staying with them, a relative that left. They kind of have a house to themselves for a night, and they'd rather do that. And look, I totally understand that. I have no worries about it. Um, they wanted to put me up in it, but the reason I'm saying this is, again, my journey is about humanity. And they said, look, they want to put you up at a local hotel for the night, though, on them, and set you up. And I thought that was such a generous offer. I really do. I mean, and you guys have heard me. There's been nights I've spent nights in hotels, but it was early in the night. Weather's perfect. Look, if the worst thing that happens is I sleep outside, it won't be a big problem. But I'm sure I won't. The night's young, so I kind of said, look, you know what? That's cool, and I waited around a little bit, but I knew I only sleep 3 hours. By the time I got to a hotel and I was going to catch this early morning train, there was no need for me to spend these people's money. So what was really cool there after was I was sitting next to this family. There were 5 people there, husband, wife, and a little fella. And I'm trying to think of their names now. Good, they just escaped me, son of a gun. Anyway, they were there with, that might have been her mom and a couple people, but I started talking to them about what I'm doing. And just really cool. Again, it was like I've been speaking to people I've known my whole life. No judgment. As a young father, well, he's got 4 children, a 16-year-old down to a 2-year-old. But him and his wife, as young parents, understood the whole point the thumb philosophy, and how literally how brilliant it is, and how it could be used and be helpful. And so we talked about it, and the dad, good God, I'm trying to think of the little boy's name, but anyway. And I'm even forgetting the dad's name. I think it was Chris. I'm sorry. Great guy. But him and his little boy went into the bathroom, and I was packing up to leave. But I wanted to at least say goodbye to them. They were real polite. And I headed down around the square, heading towards there was a VFW. I was going to check in and thank people for their service. And he came running up to me, and he said, "Man, do you have a place to stay tonight?" And I said, "No, but the night's young, and I'll be good." And he's like, "Look, you take my number, and I'm going to check up on you, and you're not going to, I need to know, He said, I read people pretty easily, and I know that you're sincere and genuine in what you do. And anyway, so they extended their hospitality to me, and again, couldn't appreciate them enough. So thank you guys for that. And so that was really last night. There was one thing yesterday, as I'm thinking, and my mind's rolling, I don't know who's still listening at this point, but I got an email yesterday, and again, I'm not judging people, but it just kind of makes you wonder. So I don't know technology, but if you know, so let me be real clear to everybody. When I sign off most of my texts or someone reaches out to me, I say much love, and I do this symbol, which means I love you in sign language. Well, that's what I do. I got a message yesterday from somebody that said, why do you always put a question mark after much love? It makes me think what you're doing is iffy, or you are iffy or something like that. So I don't know technology. I don't know why her phone shows a question mark. I don't know if it's a flip phone or not updated. I honestly don't know. But I thought about that for a minute, and I'm thinking about, so if you follow me and you see my backstory, and you see I walk 660 miles, and you hear me talking about people and talking about positivity, and you hear me, the passion in my voice and things like that, I just thought I wanted to say something on there. But of course, anytime you say anything negative, people come jumping at you. But I thought, really? So if I put a question mark after that, that's what's going to make you think you're going to question me as iffy as my goals or motives or something? I just thought, I mean, what more could I possibly do on here? Whether it be talking about my kids, highlighting causes, and sharing stories with people, and walking in a 95-degree heat. But yet, if I put a question mark after something, I'm iffy. I just thought it was just kind of I don't even want to say funny. I thought something else, but I'll just let it go with that. So, guys, we're going to wrap up. This is my morning video. It's my 4th effort. I'm not going to run it now. I'm looking forward to heading down to the train here, which should be in the next half hour, I guess. Head down to Chicago. Have a great day down there. Love you guys so much. Landon, Kira, good morning. Grace, love you, sweet pea. Heather, take care of them for me. You've been so helpful and supportive. Love you guys. Thank you.